What's good, YouTube? Barcode here. Today I'm bringing another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks since my last video. Where have I been? What have I been doing? This video is going to just pretty much explain what I've been doing. Summertime. I do own my own business selling roofs, siding, windows, gutters. So this is my busy time of year. When I started doing YouTube videos, I was started in the winter. I had plenty of time to do lots of videos, starting in Air of Light before this. So I was pushing out pretty quality content in a pretty good amount of time. Come spring and summer, got back to work, just had not a lot of downtime. So I am trying to push out as many videos as I can, balancing work, family, other things. So this video is going to be about pretty much what I've been doing, which is farming, testing out different champions, different strategies for arena. Also trying to get into a Steel Widow 11 or ED11 team comp, which I still have plenty of work to do. I'm trying to work on a a non-Archangel team, just to push out that kind of content to you guys. I haven't even really tried to do an Archangel Steel Widow 11 team. I probably could, but it's kind of cheesy to me. So, and it's not like 100%. So, I don't want to do that. So, this video is just going to explain what I've been doing. So let's go into my champion box first. There's been a free gear removal day since my last video, so I kind of explain about what I've been doing. I'm testing out a couple different things, so mind you, the gear sets might not be optimal, but this is what I've been doing. Fire Archangel. He doesn't have full skill ups, but I am testing him on a mortal build, a triple HP mortal build, which is right here. HP, HP, HP. If I could get crit damage in there, that'd be cool too, with like a high HP sub. But this is what I'm trying. It's kind of lackluster. It doesn't do too much damage. His jump can, even from the armor break, can do 11 to 15k, depending on my team comp, my team synergy lead, and how squishy the other enemy is. So it really relies on an armor break, and the HP team lead, so it doesn't do too much damage, but those are the stats on him. 65k, 123 crit damage, 90% crit. Kind of lackluster. I would recommend going Dazzling on Fire Archangel, or really any Archangel that's not invulnerability. Invulnerability I would put Adept on, but that's what I went. As you can see, I do have 2 new 6-star monsters. Fire Valk, which is Hardy. I am testing on a attack speed, crit damage, HP build to give him a little bit more tanky. I haven't decided whether I want to go attack on the 6th slot, on the bracer slot, or HP. With attack, she does do a little bit more damage, but not a ton, whereas she would be squishy. If I put HP on her, she has a lot more survivability and still does a ton of damage because every skill is based on attack speed. But she's great. She's just as good as Light Valk. She puts my Steel Widow 10 runs on like 1 minute and 10 seconds because she is the wave clear. She is 100% safe on my team because she has the lower attack on her ultimate, and also a Disorient, which is huge in Steel Widow. I plan to use her in Steel Widow 11 as well. 6-star Water Valk, and as you can see on a lot of my characters in my champion box, I could have 6-starred other characters, but I have reasons for this. So with her attack speed buff and her haste buff, it definitely helps in ED11. She is my wave clear in, not EW11, EW10, Elder Drake 10. She is my wave clear, and she is built on attack speed HP and attack. I did have attack as well in the glove, but I wanted her to give her a little bit more survivability in PvP because I also use her, I team her up with Fire Valk and sometimes the Blade Master to get that buff to them, so that really helps out. But I have her on Adept, and she heals a ton, and she does really good damage for a support, especially if I changed her to attack. But again, you know, stat wise, she still has a ton of attack here, even just having attack just in the bracer. Crit rate is low, so you know that is where I am farming to get better better gear to get better crit rate subs. But that's just a work in progress. But overall, I'm glad I 6-starred both of these, which are underused champions that a lot of people don't 6-star, especially Fire Valk. I love her. Nature Blade Master, she is now fully skilled up. I've been using all my tutors on her. She does a ton of damage. She's my main nuker in Arena. She is my farmer right now on Vampire. I am probably on the next free gear removal, I'm going to change her to Mortal or Brutal, depending on what better gear I have, because I don't need her on Vamp anymore. I run her in Legend 6-1 on Adventure Mode if I want to farm more than 1 or 2 fodder, but I don't need Vamp in there. I just need to do a ton of damage so that the runs are a lot quicker. On 6-1 right now, it's about 25 to 30 seconds for farming. I wish it was faster, and with Mortal, I think I can get there. But she is attack, crit damage, attack. And I have her on warding just because that's good gear that I have, and it's still nice to have some resistance on a Blade Master, especially in PvP, so you don't get stunned nonstop or armor broken. Basalt, same thing, dazzling and warding. I have my Basalt on move speed, which is an underrated stat. I know some people have talked about it, some people haven't. I've been trying to do a move speed video for a long time, I just haven't had time to. But move speed, I can show you in Arena 2, is great on Basalt, especially if you have good subs in there. He still has, you know, what, 58,000 HP, kind of lackluster for a tank, but with that move speed, the light golem Basalt will run up to the other team if they have jumps like Archangels or Dragon Guard or whatever the case may be. Basalt will get to the front line very fast, and they will jump on him first instead of my back line, so that everyone is grouped up on that front line, and light golem can strip and my team can do its thing. So it's been working out pretty well. As you can see, I do have 2 Dark Timekeepers, which I've explained before. They are both 6-starred. The one is maxed out. The second, I'm just waiting on Timekeepers, you know, patiently. But still works out really well. They both have similar stats, about you know, 45,000 HP on average on each of them. Both have about 40 to 45% accuracy, which in Steel Widow 10 I think is fine. I haven't been able to test higher levels, but I feel like 60% is the way to shoot for. But with 44 on both of them, they both strip, they both land their ongoing damage, and it works for me. I'm not going to go over the champs that I don't really use too often, because I don't really use them. I do have some of them geared. I don't have Fire Boon Sister geared right now. I'm waiting for Adept gear to drop because I use it on other champions. Hufei is like on some like rapid keen set with crit damage, attack speed, and HP. I'm just testing her to see if I can eventually use her in Steel Widow 10, but until I 6-star, I probably would not. Fire Magic Girl, I am probably going to 6-star her eventually, and she's not on Adept right now. She's just on this, full HP tanky build. Doesn't have full skill up, so I don't want to use her yet, and that's the real reason why I'm not, because there's other champions I can use, like Water Archangel, that I can use to get that first turn kill off in arena anyway. Water Archangel is on Adept mainly for invulnerability, mainly to keep that invulnerability up as much as possible. Just a triple HP build. I still need skill ups on him to actually maximize this invulnerability to give it an extra second of duration. So I am working on that eventually. Probably will 6-star soon. Just haven't decided what I want to do. He does his job at 5 stars, so do I need to 6-star him right now immediately? It's not a priority for me. The differences between immunity with Ella and then Girai. A lot of people love both, and that's fine. I personally like, it depends on the team comp. I like Girai more if I need a tanky front line and I need an armor break on my team comp. If I'm using Ella, then I will already have an armor break on another champion to bring with her. But if I need an armor break, I'm going to bring Girai 100% of the time. Just at 5-star, he has 1500 defense, so it's 6-star, and maximizing gear. He can be a super tanky frontline, and if you bring, a Xenia or a Rhoda with him to keep his immunity up 100% of the time, it's great. Now Ella can do a ton of damage, but like I said, she needs armor break, so it really depends on your team comp. So as you can see, I do have a 5-star Rona, a water merc. I'm testing out some things with her. I am, she's obviously a defense-based monster here. 2 of her skills are based on defense. However, her ultimate is not. It's somewhat based on defense, but it's not. It's only the bonus. Oh no, I'm sorry. Her ultimate is not defense-based. It's all attack-based, and you can check here in the details. I wish Gameloft actually added these details to every single champion. Maybe they will in the future, but a lot of them do, a lot of them don't. But as you can see in the details, her ultimate is based on attack, and it's the bonus damage ignores defense. So she's 5-star, again, crappy gear, but she is max skilled. So I am just testing her on like an attack crit damage attack build, and with eventually I want like defense subs on every single sub to make her tanky as well. But I'm trying to see how much that ultimate will do. However, she still is kind of lackluster when I've tested her out. She doesn't really get her ultimate out quickly enough to do damage. So kind of lackluster at this point, but I'm just testing some things. Water Siege, obviously ongoing damage champ, just on Adept HP build, and then high accuracy in the subs. She already starts with 30%, so it's easy to get it. I have 89, plenty for whatever case you need to bring her. I wouldn't go any more than 85, but I just have her on 89 just because of the subs. Water Snake, Adept, not attack speed. Please, no. It's just defense, HP, accuracy. She's there to do ongoing damage, to land it and get her on a depth, so she's using her skills more often, so she lands ongoing damage, and it's not based on attack speed. We all know that. I did end up eventually 5-starring my Mojo, and that's just because of the event. I never planned on it. However, I have been using Mojo a lot more depending on my team comp on arena offense. And so it's nice to actually 5-star Mojo, just because of the more survivability. Gave him 10,000 more health, a little bit more defense, but it's lackluster gear. I mean, it's just hand-me-down gear, defense, HP, 4-star, 5-star gear. But because of the attack buff and the defense buff, it's huge. I mean, depending on your team comp, you can bring him and your team can live. I mean, I like to team Mojo up with Garai so that he gets the defense lead. He has immunity, and with that buff from Mojo, just has a ton of defense and just a good frontline tank. I did get a new Nat 5, the Nature Ink Ninja, no skill ups, lackluster runes, runes gear right now, just attack, crit damage attack. You want to have decent amount of accuracy to land all of the debuffs, the mark, the ongoing damage, and I'm looking straight into a crit damage build to get a guaranteed crit. So my crit rate is actually pretty lackluster low, but he has 180% crit damage, and that's at level 9 on the gear. So I'm lacking on gold, I'm lacking on gems, because I've been doing a lot of building and a ton of farming, so that's where I've been with that. Nature Pirate, I have him right now on Dazzling as a tanky build, which is defense, HP, and accuracy. Nature and Dark Pirates are amazing on arena offense and in PvE as well, for speed clears. But I have him on Dazzling because after he does his, this won't actually hit the target and stun them. It's just like a debuff. It doesn't do any damage. But when Bombardment hits or a well-placed shot hits and knocking them back and stunning them, it's great against the enemy Blade Masters that come into your arena offense team and try to knock your guys out. He will come out with the well-placed shot, hit her and stun her, and then she can't go into her ultimate invulnerability, kill everything in one shot. So I really like him on Dazzling. If I would keep him on Dazzling even if I put him into a nuke build. I am working on a Nature Scion, which is Dr. Snaps. I have him on a nuke build right now, and I really like him. I want this crit damage, but I can't right now. I really like him paired up with my Water Valk, with the attack speed buff. He actually can put out really decent damage, and if I didn't have so many nature nukes, I would actually 6-star him and just test him out in different builds, because I like him on arena offense when he can throw up this repulsion field, and the wall shocks enemies, knocking them away. Even Dazzling on a nuke build would be pretty sweet to try out. I just haven't been able to do that yet. Rhoda, I don't even have geared. I don't even use Rhoda too much anymore, and it's kind of a shame because she is a great champ, but I just have so much nature monsters. I don't need her, and I have other utility that I can bring. I don't need her cooldown time or lower attack or her armor break. I just haven't used her, and she is max skilled. Eventually I may, depending, but that's where I'm at with her. Xenia, good old Xenia, Adept. I may 6-star her soon. I do have the fodder down here ready to go. I have about 5 Moon Sisters that I will level up to 4-star and then level up to 5-star and then feed her because she's not even max skilled yet. I do have about 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so a bunch skill ups left. So 5 more skill ups from the 5 Boon Sisters that I'm leveling up to 6-star her will help out. I don't use her that much, honestly. I've kind of moved on from that. And after the patch, I'm going to be using even a different healer over her sometimes, and I'll explain that in a minute. But there, that's what she is. Triple HP Adept. Just make her as tanky as possible. I have high resist on her, and that's what you kind of want. Finally pulled a Light Squire Parapet. I'm testing him out. I will eventually 6-star, and I think that's more on the lines of the floor 11 and higher. But at 5-star, kind of lackluster because of stats, and I don't have gear maxed out anyway. But he is great. I still need a couple more skill ups, like 2. So I easily can get from common discs. Just haven't pulled any yet. But team AoE thing of 15, receiving 15% less damage, and as a nat 2, that's pretty strong. And he has a shield which is based on the allies max HP, not his. It's maxed on the allies max HP. So in a high tank team, this can be good, and I plan on using him in floor 11 and higher after I 6-star. Amethyst. So I did grind up an Amethyst and is max skilled, and I mainly am using him after the patch. I don't use him much right now, but once his skill, his bolster, is changed to prioritize the immunity over the heal, I'm going to test him out for sure. And I probably will 6-star if I enjoy it, because at 5-star he is lackluster and can die, especially with handing me down gear. So that's my plan with that. Violet, I don't even have geared right now. I was using a lot, but now I hardly ever use. One, mainly because she has no gear, but I just kept her for the fusion to get Diva, because Diva will be a much better healer than Dryad, numbers wise, not utility now, numbers wise. And I will, depending on how Amethyst turns out, I'll have immunity. If I want to run a double healer, I won't need the cleanse, and immunity will be up 100% of the time pretty much because of a low cooldown. So that's what I want to go with that. Voxia, I actually will 6-star her eventually, and I haven't even really decided what I want to do with her with gear. However, she's my 5 vs 5 champ for sure. I use her non-stop when I do play. I hardly ever play right now because I don't have time, but Voxia is my go-to 5 vs 5 champ. I was a jungle player in Smite, and this is just my cup of tea. So when I started using her recently, when I'm able to play 5 vs 5, I haven't lost yet. I will gank teams of 3, and it's just so much fun with her Grand Slam, with her stun on her auto attack after you use breakaway with the haste buff. Nobody really gets away from her unless they have a knockback as well, but even then she can catch right back up. So she's definitely my 5 vs 5 champ for sure. I am leveling up a Light Shark, and the reason being is after the patch he's going to get a legendary debuff of Mortal Wounds that goes through immunity, can't be cleansed unless you have that legendary removal gear on your champion. So I'm going to test him out in PvP. I'm going to test him out, and if any other content requires Mortal Wounds, I'm going to test that out, especially with the new dungeon. It might be really good, but right now it's just hand-me-down gear just to level up easier. Vital, keen, precise, but you definitely want some accuracy, you definitely want some damage for sure. I have him on like attack or damage attack, so damage, attack, accuracy, but you definitely want some survivability too, because so far, you know, 5-star, level 16, kind of lackluster, but max out gear, and then test when the new content comes out. It'll be nice to see what he can do. One more quick note, I am building a Dark Dragon Guard because I did pull him in a Light and Dark Shard. After the patch, he's going to get some nice buffs to him, especially I think it's if one ally goes below 30% or something like that, they get the Undying buff. So I'm going to test him out, see what he can do. Right now he's on Dazzling Sturdy. He already has a stun on his last skill, but he has a lot of AoE damage and movement with the jumping and everything like that. It's just AoE damage with stuns. I think it'd be nice to have. So I'm going to test him out once I build him a little bit more. Alright, let's get over to Arena. In Arena right now, after I changed my defense, it's actually been pretty good and surprising. So I was actually just trolling for a while. And I had like double Sharma, and then I had Kendrick, and I had Blademaster, and all of a sudden I was like winning arena defense a ton, and it's not like my TKs are on Dazzling or anything, which would be smart if I played that out, but I have them both on Adept, and they were just winning a ton. And then when I started getting staying in the higher ranks, I kept losing. And when I look at when you lose on a defense, you definitely want to look at what team they bring. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but this is the team in the Revenge. This is the team they actually bring. But if you look at their arena defense, like Pocket God, to kill me, he brought Water, Greater Demon, Lemon Drop, TK, Kendrick. Okay, but if you look at the defense, it's completely different. And that's the arena defense, and this shows the arena offense of what kills you. So when you look at that, you say, okay, what killed me? What did that for me? And what did that for me is I didn't have immunity, invulnerability, and obviously not everybody has a Water Archangel, but you got to think outside the box. So okay, so I took out one of my Sharmas, I put in Water Archangel. For you, if you have Fire Archangel with a shield, put that in there. If you have a Naga with a shield, put that in there. If you have everybody has a Fire Magical Girl, put that in there for that initial burst. And you know, that actually might, I may plan on doing that if I 6-star her, because a 5-star her heal isn't much, but her ultimate is great with the reduction of damage, absorbing incoming attacks. So if I 6-star her, I may put her in for Water Archangel, but then I don't have a silence. So it just depends on the team, okay? But there's many different choices you can do. You just got to look at what is killing you. I already cleaned up for the most part on my phone before I started recording, but my arena defense right now is probably about 50%. I do win a ton now on this defense, but then I also lose a ton, so it's about 50%. Every time I log on after I sleep, it's about half and half. So it's working out pretty well. I'm rank 83. I still have 5 wings to go, and I'll show you what I kind of use on arena offense as well. So let's look at Pocket God. Okay, so not much, and this is what you want to think about when you're bringing arena offenses. There's not much damage there. It's just tankiness. Okay, so you only really need to bring one healer, and you should bring. They have immunity. They have shields. They also have a cleanse. So whenever I see dryads, I don't use the pirate, the Kendrick, because she will just cleanse the armor break. I use more of a Mojo for survivability, and then I just bring one nuke if they don't have any damage, and I just buff the heck out of them. So Mojo, Water Valk, and then I will change this to attack speed, and I will show you what I can do here. Okay, so on PC I hate arena or 5 vs 5 just because of the lack of controls. I wish you could customize your controls more on settings. I wish you could use WASD to move instead of mouse click, and then use something else to use your skills, but this is what we have to deal with right now. So I'm going to just auto it and then try to do it the best I can here. But I'll see what I can do. So this is kind of what I do. I don't plan on my team dying at all, because of how much survivability I have here. But I will take out the Dryad first, and stuns are destroying me as normal, as my team lacks immunity. But not bad so far. But I have a ton of survivability. Oh, and then with the mouse too, I just, wherever my mouse lands, that's the direction that my dash goes in, or any other skills. I just hate that, and I'm not used to that because I play mainly on the phone. So I'll go ahead, and I don't plan on my team dying at all because I have so much survivability, defense buff, Water Valk doing her thing. She's such a great healer. I mean, she's definitely underrated, and I've explained that multiple times and in the video, but my team can definitely do some damage. and she does some pretty decent damage. Now, Nature BM is Nature BM. If she can survive, she will do a ton of damage. So that's kind of how that works there. I'll kind of show you the damage meters and show you what it's done, but it's going to be Nature BM for most of the damage, but Water Valk does put out a good amount of damage on that. So let's check that out. Actually not too bad, but there's no armor break, so kind of lackluster for a Water Valk, but she adds that extra damage that, you know, a Xenia or someone else might not put out. But yeah, I mean, look at that healing. My team is not going to die with a Water Valk, just Water Valk alone. She has a silence, she has movement speed, attack speed. It's great for Nature Blade Master, and then you got Mojo with the attack up and the defense up, so it's just great to have. Alright, now for farming. So let's go into my Elder Drake team and then my Steel Widow team, and then I will be done for today. Elder Drake team right now, I don't really farm Elder Drake right now. I try to get a couple runs in every day, but I'm mainly in Steel Widow 10. I may start farming Elder Drake 10 one day, and then the next day do Steel Widow 10, and then just keep going back and forth. But this is the team I'm using right now. I'm using double TK. Sorry guys, double TK. And I'm just testing with Ink Ninja right now, but I'm gonna put in Nature BM for faster clears. I would put Water Valk in, and maybe I will. I'll just do that for survivability, but I don't really need her. I can just solo heal with my Dark Timekeepers and my immunity buff. So it is what it is, but I'm going to just show you what she can do as Elder Drake 10. Alright, so we have immunity, we have attack speed, we have movement speed, and this is definitely 100% Elder Drake team. Reason being is for if it does go into the air phase, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it does, the movement speed helps with getting out of his breath, and it's pretty much 100% clear with the movement speed buff from Water Valk. As you can see, 30 seconds in, we got the flyby. If I have Nature BM in, that'll usually happen around like 26 seconds. But with this team, Water Valk still does a pretty good amount of damage, clearing the waves, and she's just a safety net. Like I said, this team half the time goes air phase for the dragon, half the time doesn't. It really just depends on when the skills are applied. It's really, if they're applied like straight from the beginning, and Water Siege, see, Water Siege doesn't have his he just used his ultimate right before the Drake, so it really just depends. If he can get it up before half health, which he should be able to, I may be able to kill the Drake before the air phase, which I should right here. Maybe. Depends on if the dots start getting off. There we go. So I'm in 33, and that's 100% team. If I had Nature BM in there, Nature BM will actually cut it down to about 1:15 if it doesn't go in the air phase. I'll take it. So yeah, it really just depends on when the ongoing damage is applied. Alright, now for Steel Widow 10. This is my speed clear Steel Widow 10 right now. And yes, double DK, sorry. But that's what I use, and I'm just showing you that. I'm not telling you exactly what to use, but this is what I use. Water Siege, Double Dark TK, Water Valk, and Fire Valk. Okay, this is 100% team because of Fire Valk and her lower attack and her disorient. Water Valk is the survivability from the lasers if for some reason the lower attack or the disorient does not go off. And then the Timekeepers and the Water Siege do the damage, and the Dark Timekeepers do the strips. Alright, so let's focus on Fire Valk right now. So definitely clears the waves super quick. does a ton of damage. And with the attack speed buff from Water Valk, her skills do a lot more damage. Now, the one thing I do lack is an armor break, but really I don't need it because the waves die so quick. And then Steel Widow cleanses buffs half the time anyway. So if the armor break goes off, if I brought somebody with an armor break, it might not necessarily be there 100% of the time. So yeah, so onto the Steel Widow boss at 45 seconds. So we'll get the dots up there and get lower attack and disorient, so the lasers don't hardly do any damage to me. I got 6, 5, 4 buffs, 7 buffs of ongoing damage up there. I got the block buff so he doesn't get the shield. And sometimes this run is about a minute 15 and a minute 18. Right now it's a minute and 9. So that is my speed clear for Steel Widow 10, with 2 underrated champions that aren't ever built besides of what I did is Water Valk and Fire Valk. Now you might necessarily say that Dark Timekeepers and the Water Siege did all the work. Well, they did half the time. They did on the Steel Widow boss, but during the wave phases they did not. Who else can bring a wave clear and survivability and an attack speed buff besides those two? Those two combined is really nice to have as a wave clearing team that can also support your whole team, keep them alive with lower attack and disorient. And Water Valk's heal is on a low cooldown, so just heals a ton, still does a ton of damage in the wave phases. They do even more damage than Fire Valk does more damage than Water Siege overall. Yes, Water Siege's damage is on the boss, but I mean Water Valk also does more damage than the Timekeepers, so 2 great champions to build. Okay, that's all the time I have today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll try to push out more videos a little bit more. I'm going to try to wake up earlier in the mornings and try to get that done for you. And because I have a ton of content, my next underrated champion, more of a farming video of Steel Widow 10 is the answer to pretty much all your farming needs. And also a couple more things that I have in mind. So thank you again for tuning in, subbing, liking my videos. I hope they are helpful, because that is all my plan is to do, is to help you guys. This was a hobby at first. This is not a job at all. I am a YouTube sponsored now, so I do have ads on my videos, so I apologize for that, but I feel like I should monetize that for the time that I put in. But regardless, thank you guys again for all your support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.